The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain, has the largest variety of toys in the Caribbean and South America. No one can beat our prices. If you see it cheaper anywhere else, prove it and we will beat it. Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Blessing, good afternoon to each and every one. Welcome to U97.5 FM, hot like pepper. Welcome to Douglar Radio. Of course, today is the day. Ladies and gentlemen, as I welcome you to today's proceedings, I want you to keep your ear on track. I also want you to keep your mind focused, because today, ladies and gentlemen, I will share some things with you that is of utmost importance to you. And coming out of that, ladies and gentlemen, you can decide the way forward in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that you are quite aware that Keith Christopher Rowley have appointed a committee. He gave that committee 1 week to go through the health sector and to report to him in relation to the COVID-19 situation. However, the committee seeks a further 3 weeks, which was granted. And so they have compiled a report after interviewing around 25 cases, and they have bring forth evidence that would be shocking to some of you, disturbing to others. We on this side, within the United National Congress, from the Honorable Leader, former Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, who had called on many occasions not only for investigations, but also a commission of inquiry to inquire as to why we have 3,500 plus. And I think today, Corky, we had 8 deaths. While we prepare for a taste of stupidity, we have 8 deaths today. The Honorable Tim Gopi Singh and the whole of the United National Congress executive, senators, MPs, activists, what have you, we have played our part in highlighting. We have played our part in showing. We have played our part in exposing the incompetence of this administration from Abdul Richards come right back. We spoke into your hearing, but for some reason or the other, some of you choose to ignore what we were saying to you. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are faced with a bigger pandemic than COVID-19. We are now faced with the Rowley pandemic, a pandemic that creates more havoc in this country than the COVID-19 itself. And that is the incompetent pandemic by this administration. I want to play a clip from the Honorable Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, a qualified individual who no doubt, if given the opportunity within the start of this pandemic, I have no doubt whatsoever that the lives of our citizens would have been preserved, simply because Dr. Tim Gopi Singh is not only an expert, but the level of sympathy, the level of experience, the knowledge that is stored up within the brain cells of Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, I am saying that he is able to make Parasaram, Abdul Richards, and the whole team, I forget Big Glass's name, he slipped out my head. The whole team who come on a regular basis to speak nothing whatsoever that would have saved the lives of our citizens. I want to present to you without further ado the Honorable Dr. Tim Gopi Singh. Run it.
Thank you very much, Mahoney. Appreciated. Well, you make me feel relatively old now. Senior. Honorable political leader, leader of the opposition, and our distinguished former Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, platform colleagues here tonight. Good evening, everyone. I will tonight discuss the findings of the report of the committee appointed by Dr. Keith Rowley to investigate the factors contributing to the clinical outcomes of COVID-19 patients in Trinidad and Tobago. That report was laid in the Parliament last Friday, the 18th of February. In fact, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar specifically called for a commission of inquiry into the overall management of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I called for a confidential inquiry into every single COVID-19 death for the last 8 months. So the very fact that this report was commissioned is thanks to the constant and undoubted calls and vigilance of our opposition leader and the United National Congress on behalf of a battered, weary, and oppressed population. Further, we had stated that 1 week could never possibly be enough time for that committee to review this COVID-19 pandemic. They got the fright, and they said that they decided to ask for another 3 weeks, which was given to them. So 4 weeks to conduct their investigation. But in the report, which I spoke about yesterday as well, there are no surprises in their findings. Absolutely none. Because we have been saying that every day for the last 6 months on the issues which they noted. Every single fallacy, shortcoming, and problem of this committee, that this committee has identified, we have been saying that all along. And even patients and doctors and nurses and the families of COVID-19 victims have also been saying that all along. So there are no surprises to the information that has been provided by the committee in this report. Let us look at the analysis of the report's findings. Every single one of the report's findings, we had alerted the population to it. Let me dissect some of the key issues. And here are some of the committee's key findings. First, to orderlies and patient escorts. They continue to say in the report, some doctors had to do non-medical jobs like lifting and moving patients, pulling up patients in bed, and processing nasal swabs. Continue. Nurses in some instances also had to carry out duties outside of their regular function. We have been saying that from 18 months ago. From early in this pandemic, there had been a shortage of both senior, experienced ones, and other nursing personnel and doctors. The Nursing Association have repeatedly warned this governmental Minister Diyal Singh, and we in the UNC continuously warn them as well of medical and nursing personnel shortages very early, but they didn't take us on. The committee report went on to say doctors and nurses complained of overwork almost to the point of exhaustion. Concluding that the workload was severe, the committee said it must take a toll mentally, physically, and psychologically. This is what the report is stating. They go on to state that privacy and security were also areas of concern raised by the committee. At some sites, listen to this, 3 to 4 young doctors, male and female, had to sleep on mattresses on the floor in the same room. Imagine in this 21st century, in a developed country, this is what was happening under Diyal Singh's watch. Some doctors complained that the door to their room could not be locked. The committee said this was particularly worrisome given the current state of crime in the country. It's not Dr. Gopi Singh or the United National Congress saying that. This is the committee that is saying that. They go on to say nurses complained of having to work long hours in personal protective equipment. We said from the ab initio, from the beginning, that they did not provide enough personal protective equipment for the medical and frontline staff. And this report has showed nurses complaining of having to work long hours in personal protective equipment, often without a break to drink water or go to the washroom. How callous, inconsiderate. They also reported that they had to lift and turn patients because of a shortage of attendants and orderlies. Imagine a slim, slender nurse who is a nurse by profession have to at sometimes lift patients who are lying on their back and move them to the prone position or semi-prone position, particularly the obese ones whose distended abdomen push the diaphragm up, restrict the lung volume and the lung capacity, and prevents them from breathing. So the nurses had to do that. because there are no orderlies in the system. And this is what the Elsing and Parasram and Trotman and Marian Abdul Richards were 2 years coming every day and talking a bunch of foolishness, and they don't know this is going on in the hospital. Where are the hospital managers? Where are the CEOs? Where are the medical directors? Where is the Elsing? This is a man who said that his responsibility stops at the door of the hospital. That man should have been fired from the time he made that statement. But Rowley wouldn't do that. The committee report noted that obese patients in particular were difficult to move. Many patients died from respiratory obstruction resulting from an inability to turn patients in a prone or semi-prone position. The committee said there were frequent complaints about very before a period of 1 year. Imagine you're taking a committee to tell you that you should be giving contract to the young doctors and the nurses. They were asking that from the beginning. And you know why they decided to do that? They want to hold them and give them no contract, hold them under threat, so that if they make any statement, they will send them off and dismiss them. In fact, they have moved 18 senior doctors as a result of that. The committee was told that in many instances, there was one ICU nurse nursing 6 ICU ventilated patients. Reports were also received about one registered nurse on the ward nursing 20 to 30 patients. One nurse has to monitor 30 patients on a ward. How terrible that is. How can one nurse, no matter how competent she is, could manage 30 patients? You don't understand that patients will die as a result of that? It's not a fault of the nurse. It's a fault of the Elsing and his team. The report stated the implementation of the policies during the pandemic was hampered by unpredictable staff shortages and staff burnout. Staff burnout because you don't have enough staff. Almost every single doctor we met, the report goes on to say, complained of overwork, almost to the point of exhaustion. Some of these doctors also had to do non-medical jobs, example, lift and move patients. The doctors had to do it as well. And you know how sometimes small these doctors are. They're very, very tiny. Some of them are 23 and 24 years old, and they're slim built. How can they move these patients? They pull up the patients at bed and process nasal swabs. The report stated some staff complained about problems getting meals. I can tell you that. I was inside there in August of 2020. And meals, breakfast was coming 11 o'clock in the morning with a cup of coffee and a half of a sandwich. And your lunch coming 4 o'clock in the evening. And that continued right through. So the committee saw this and they said, the nurses were complaining of getting meals, especially after long hours in the hot zone. Some nurses spoke of the psychological pressure they felt when they were confronted with many deaths in a day. You can imagine a nurse working and seeing, and they can't help these patients seeing so many people die. They also spoke of the extreme mental stress they face when one of their colleagues died from COVID, stated the report. I come to the drug tocilizumab. The committee reported on it. I have been talking about tocilizumab, a monoclonal antibody, an immunosuppressive drug that they should have bought from months and months ago, which was approved by WHO and approved by the Federal Drug Agency in the United States and in Europe. This is an approved drug for helping to save lives. That was conspicuous by its shortage. Experienced ICU consultants said that they only had about 20% of the required amount of tocilizumab. Pharmacists also agreed that the drug was in short supply. Why, Minister Elsing? Why, Dr. Parasram? You admitted I think 2 nights ago on television, the cost of this drug is $8,000, and you said it was very expensive. Is $8,000 too much to save somebody's life? 1,000 patients with $8 million in tocilizumab drug could have been saved. $24 million could have saved 3,000 lives. Rowley, that is criminal. Parasram, that is criminal. Diyal Singh, that is criminal. Why didn't you buy the drugs to save these patients' lives? And there were also reports about shortage of other drugs, midazolam, methylprednisolone, to prevent the bronchial tree from becoming blocked up with secretions, and propofol to help the patients in ICU who are sedated. You continue a drip of propofol, which the anesthetists use to keep them relatively sedated. So all these drugs were missing. Dexamethasone was used in instances where methylprednisolone was indicated. And in addition, the committee said there was a shortage of basic items at the hospital, shortage of basic items. And also the drug that is used when persons are at a critical stage, which is tocilizumab. The key aspect of the report is the recommendation that the anti-inflammatory drug, tocilizumab, which is given at an advanced stage of COVID-19, should be purchased more, as it was conspicuous by its shortage. Yeah. Well, Dr. Parasram, doctorate, honorary doctorate, presiding over the death of 3,500 patients. You get an honorary doctorate for that. It is not a question on your knowledge and so on, but you presided over it. Dr. Trotman, you presided over it. Mariam Abdul-Richards, Diyal Singh, Rowley, the CEOs, the managers, the regional health authority boards, all of them should be fired immediately. And the committee went on to say, though tocilizumab is an expensive drug, there is a cost benefit to be realized from its use. We recommend that the policy regarding tocilizumab use be reviewed, the report stated. And then they spoke about the high rates of NCDs among the patients who died. That's the non-communicable disease of diabetes, hypertension, immunosuppressed patients, asthma, and so on, and cancer. Who died or who were hospitalized for COVID-19 were notable. It doesn't take anybody to tell us, the committee tell us that. We know when Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar was Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in 2012, we ensured that the 105 health centers, most of them were open up to 9 p.m. on weekends and public holidays. As soon as Rowley and they came into government 6 years ago, they closed down most of these health centers, and they reduced the time from 9 o'clock back to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So when patients could have got their diabetes and hypertension controlled, they went nothing. And during this pandemic, people who were diabetic and hypertension could not get any medication. They could not be seen. So therefore, when they got COVID, they were a walking disaster. That is what this government was doing. This is what Rowley and Diyal Singh and his people were doing to the people of this country. The committee went on to say the crucial issue of ICU deaths. There is need for a national policy on intensive care unit admissions for COVID-19 patients of different ages, and to have special ICU beds for elderly patients. The committee showed where patients 80 years and above were being deprived at times from an ICU beds. Was there a triaging done? Was there Russian roulette as to see who would be put in the ICU beds? A national disaster and a national disgrace. The committee said on a national policy regarding ICU admissions and care of the elderly, the team noted that 15.2% of pediatric admissions were to ICU compared with 1.2% of persons over 80 years of age. And so many of patients over 80 years of age died. Were they deprived of ICU support? The report stated this was remarkable given the high death rate amongst the elderly. It was also noted that there were special pediatric ICU beds, whereas there were no such facility for the elderly. They're allowing the elderly to die. Was there a decision on that? By whom? Are you God? Not to put the 80 years and over patient in the ICU? In addition, the demand for pediatric ICU beds was in absolute terms much smaller than for adult ICU beds. In fact, the committee found that seniors 80 years and over had difficulty in getting the beds. And was there, as I said, was there triaging and leaving the 80 years to suffer by themselves and die? The another committee statement, we did not find any mention of a national policy regarding admissions to ICU for persons of different ages and recommend that such a policy needs to be articulated. Imagine 2 years into this pandemic and you don't have a policy for ICU admission. How disgraceful that is. Yet still Minister Young on Friday, I saw him from looking at the television from my office, making a big thing that the Trinidad management of the ICU met WHO and international best practice standards. Is that international best practice standards? Is that so? You should be ashamed, Minister Young. I would consider this a gigantic fraudulent statement with hypocrisy and blatant lies and deceit. How can you go into Parliament and say that this was happening? I had long pointed out, ladies and gentlemen, that the health authorities and the ILSING were hiding the ICU and HDU mortality statistics. The country would have heard me asking for that many times because they had turned the hospitals of the nation into killing fields. I asked this over and over more than 10 times in the last 6 months publicly, and the report confirms what I've been asking. Imagine the people appointed by the Prime Minister himself, that is the committee, were denied these statistics according to their report. Deliberate hiding of the information. Hiding the information. You see why Mrs. Prasad Bisesa called this a puppy show? This team had no legal remit, so they had to take whatever the same people accused of criminal negligence gave them. In fact, as I remember, the team had asked for 90 case notes. They got 25 case notes. 25 case notes. They were only able to interview 25 people across the 5 RHs. So any work could be done in 4 weeks. And this is why Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, as leader of the opposition, has been calling for this commission of inquiry, knowing fully well that 1 week, nor 4 weeks, nor 2 months could do the work that is required to be done to unearth the difficulties that we experience. And one more point, the committee said there was need for improved communication by regional health authorities with patients' relatives. They said that frontline health workers felt abandoned by RHA leaderships. Among the findings were that Couva Hospital, Port of Spain General Hospital, and Augustus Lung Hospital had the most COVID deaths. And that is not surprising. Devlin Thomas chased out 18 senior experienced doctors, and that is when the deaths began to rise. This is his doing. He removed intensivists, pulmonologists, anesthetists, cardiologists, nephrologists, emergency specialists. So are we surprised that patients began to die when 18 of the senior doctors were moved out by Devlin Thomas? And he is the boss because he is the ILSING right-hand man in his constituency, and he is Prime Minister Rowley, go for boy. And he could do anything, but they have caused the deaths of 3,500 people in this country. On communications with patients, the team stated anecdotal reports suggested that in the past there has been severe dislocation between families and their loved ones admitted to hospital. This is what the team stated, that views of relatives of COVID-19 patients need further investigation. We could not assess their views due to the time constraints of this rapid assessment. We noted that relatives had no or limited access to patients during admission. We recommend a formal survey of the views of relatives of patients who were cared for in the parallel health system. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very damning report. Even though I pointed out all these fatal shortcomings for the past year, it still horrifies me to see this in print. Imagine generations to come will read of this legacy of death and destruction of the COVID hospitals killing fields as the hallmark of the Rowley government's COVID-19 pandemic policies and management. The lives of 3,500 citizens have been lost and counting. So many families torn apart, so many heartaches and devastation, all because of the incompetence and inexperience, the arrogance, the cluelessness, the criminal negligence of this Rowley government, and especially the health minister and senior health managers. This report is a serious indictment on the Rowley government because all these issues, all these problems could have been prevented or halted midway If only Rowley and his team of incompetence had listened to Mrs. Kamla Prasad.
We see on the news each day, human lives are blown away. Mothers and fathers crying, burying their dead and dying. How many more, I hear them say? Death is the highest price. Death is the total sacrifice. Yeah, brothers rather commit suicide than continue with apartheid. I just beg me, Father, each day. Tell me, Father, tell me, how many more must die? How many more?
Ladies and gentlemen, here you have it from Dr. Tim Gopi Singh. Dr. Tim Gopi Singh dissect the report that the Rowley team had put together after a 4-week investigation into this COVID-19 deaths at our parallel healthcare system. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start off by calling to account Terence Dial Singh. I want to start off today, ladies and gentlemen, by calling on Roshad Parasaram and Avery Hines and Abdul Richards and the whole team that came to us on a weekly basis and telling us that everything is well, everything is under control, and our citizens, our mother, our father, our brother, our sister, and our children, they are getting the best health care possible in the parallel healthcare system. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen that it was nothing but lies and more lies by this administration. No wonder why so many of those individuals have been appointed to the PNM boards. They have been appointed to keep everything hush-hush while they draw taxpayers' money, while they allow our families to die at the healthcare system, not because of the nurses and the doctors who burnt out as a result of their workload within the system. I want to ask, ladies and gentlemen, I want to call on Terence Dial Singh. No wonder, Terence Dial Singh, I and Jeffrey, we brought that coffin to your house.
Yes.
Because we know for a fact from information that we have been receiving in-house that there were gross negligence within these facilities, not because of the fault of the doctors and the nurses, but because the government have failed to do its duty. I want to ask Rowley and the Minister of Health, Dial Singh, why there was shortage of staff in these facilities when we had so many infections. The infection rate was so high, and yet we are short of staff. I want to ask Dial Singh and Rowley why it is that doctors and nurses had to try to lift and turn and twist patients in these facilities. Where was those orderlies? I want to ask D.L. Singh and Rowley today, ladies and gentlemen. I want to ask him why there was shortage of doctors and nurses after they have removed 18 senior doctors from under the stewardship of Davlin Thomas in the Couva Health Facility. My question is, how come we have shortage of doctors and nurses, but yet the government remove 18 of our most competent senior specialists from the Couva Health Facility? I want to ask, ladies and gentlemen, why after the government have removed so much money from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, how come our nurses and doctors were left without proper PPE? As a result, many nurses and doctors were infected because of a lack of personal protective equipment. When D.L. Singh boasts and tell this country that everything is above board, I came to you and I said to you months ago that there was shortage of PPE, but you didn't believe. I want to ask D.L. Singh and Rowley why it is that our doctors who were working tirelessly to save the lives of our citizens, why they were only given 1 month to 3 months contract. I want to ask Rowley and also D.L. Singh, how come that we had so many patients within the ICU with one nurse looking after 6 patients when international standards and best practice will tell you that there must be 1 nurse to 1 ICU bed? I want to ask, ladies and gentlemen, D.L. Singh and Rowley, how come we had 1 nurse looking after 20 and 30 patients, COVID-19 patients on a ward? 1 nurse looking after 20 and 30 of our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our sisters. This is genocide, ladies and gentlemen. I want to ask D.L. Singh and Rowley to explain to us how come our healthcare professionals had to sleep on mattresses on the ground in our hospital after they have put out life, sweat, blood, and tears to care for our mothers and our fathers, our children in these healthcare facilities. I want to ask D.L. Singh and Rowley, when all you're eating shrimps and drinking scotch with taxpayers' money, how come our patients would be getting breakfast at 11 o'clock and lunch at 4 o'clock? What kind of wicked animals we have today running government? I am saying that my dog and my cat home they eat at 8 in the morning, and by 1 they have lunch. We have our citizens who are sick, who are dying, who need the nutrition to strengthen their bodies. But today, through the report of the Rowley Commission, we now learned that our mother, our father, our brothers, our sisters were getting breakfast at 11 and lunch at 4. How cruel can this government be? I want to ask Dial Singh, I want to ask Imbat, I want to ask Rowley, I want to ask Faris, who family collecting the rent. How come in our healthcare system today, in the report, we are now learning that there were only 20% of drugs within the hospital system to save the lives of our family. I came here and I tell all you that in point 14 that the security would give you the name of the patient and the drugs that they need to the family, and the family had to go and source the drugs and drop it back by the guard boot for your loved ones to get some kind of relief. People, this is what they were doing to your family while they're eating and drinking and having a time with your taxpayer dollar. Those who pay the tax were dying while they were paying the tax for the government officials to eat, drink, and be merry. I want to ask Dial Singh and Rowley why there were no national COVID-19 policy in our ICU. Today we learn, ladies and gentlemen, that our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents who were over the age of 80, that they were left to perish. What kind of murder? What kind of genocide? What kind of mass killing is this in our country that we claim that is a democracy? I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that we have had information that they have come to the conclusion that they were not paying attention to our elderly. We said it to you. We said it to you. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are hearing of the agony, of the pain, of the sufferation. We have heard where Dr. Tim Gopi Singh explained when the patient is on a particular side that you have to change the position to allow the diaphragm, to allow the oxygen to flow into the lung so that the patient could have some sort of comfort. In other words, when we have our patients in the hospital who could not assist themselves to turn in this position, what happened is that they suffocate and they die.
My God.
Ladies and gentlemen, they die. It is not a case where they're gone for a holiday and you will see them next week. It is death by suffocation. It is death by a lack of oxygen. It is death by strangulation.
Madness.
I am saying that this government must be reported to the International Court. Human genocide in our healthcare system. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a case that warrants an investigation by international investigators, by forensic investigators from abroad. We must not allow any cover-up for the murders of our citizens who have paid their taxes, our citizens who have given their due to this country. I am saying that we need to understand that the resources of this country must not be for the benefits of these thieving, wicked, lying politicians. I am saying, ladies and gentlemen, that these people must be held account.
Yes.
This is what it must be. It cannot be same old, same old. Today, we have had so many people complaining that they cannot get their CDAT drugs from the drugstore. We have had so much people saying, ladies and gentlemen, that don't matter how they go, they cannot get. Our investigation have shown that most of these facilities, the government have not paid them. My question, where the money gone?
Where the money gone?
Where the money gone? Our senior citizens, those who suffer with diabetes or even hypertension, these people, ladies and gentlemen, they have paid their dues. They have paid their dues. We are saying that these drugs, it is budgeted, it is allocated within the budget. And if we are now learning that these institutions have not received their monies, my question to you is, where the money gone? We have received several phone calls, Jeffrey. We have received phone calls,
all kind of thing,
where people crying, no food card, no water, no CDAT drugs, no nothing. What is going on in this country, ladies and gentlemen? Jeffrey, I am saying to you, what is happening? What is going on in this country with those who we have put to administrate? Jeffrey, how come our country, we are the worst in deaths in COVID-19? What is going on, Jeffrey?
It is without question that the government is responsible for that. That is without question. So what we telling you in a nutshell here today is that them kind of mumbo jumbo thing that Terrence Dial sing and all of them who run into defend the malpractice that taking place for your taxpayers' dollars, for your money. We are telling you here tonight that the government of Trinidad and Tobago is responsible for mass genocide. That's what we telling you here. It come like, brother, they ain't buy the drugs that will be able to clear the nasal passage so they can receive air. They refuse to buy the drug. Look it down 2% or something. So
20%.
20%. So imagine somebody putting a pillow on your head and you're gasping and you're fighting for breath. That is what this government do.
No toxilazuma
to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and how we could stand up and take that.
No, none whatsoever.
And I am saying here today, brother, if you still supporting this government, I ain't talking to the I ain't talking to the UNC tonight, but I know all your PNM listening. If all you still supporting this government, the upholder is worse than the thief.
Brother, the metformin that the diabetic use, none whatsoever in the drugstore. So what is really going on with these people who suffer with diabetes? Let me take this one. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good evening, sir. How are you?
Good
How
afternoon.
are you? I'd like to say this PNM is dog eat dog.
It's Kobo eat Kobo, not dog eat dog.
Sir.
Kobo eat Kobo. That way it is.
Yeah, because they don't concern. Every time you have to run here and there looking for your medication and syrup, especially when you're suffering with sugar and the pressure and all this kind of thing. And no water and all kind of thing.
But I try to understand what's going on.
So I don't know.
I try to understand what's going on. A simple thing like the metformin for the diabetes patients in the hospital, in the drugstore, you can't get it and the government already budget for that. So where the money gone? People can't get water, people boiling, people trouble.
So, don't get too heated up, right? But I like to say that TNM don't care damn. I'm sorry to use that word.
You go ahead.
I'm
Is the
sorry
truth?
to
Is the
use
truth?
that word,
You're talking
sir.
the truth.
And if I was hired, if I was some manager or something with our WhatsApp people, workers, I would have fired everybody. Every worker in Wassa, I would have fired them.
All right, caller. Thank you for the call.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Yes.
you. And let me take this one. Welcome, caller.
Gentlemen,
Good
Yes.
day, good day.
Yes, good.
cool on the tempo now.
No. You ain't hearing what's going on. You ain't hearing what's going on. I can't cool that.
Go ahead,
I know
caller.
it's hot. I know it's hot. Hear this one. They want to give people water every 9 days. But they're charging you for the full amount. And people in the posh area, well, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. We
People in the
don't.
posh area, gated community, getting it not 24/7. And we still have to pay.
Same
Yeah, right.
amount.
Let me put it this way, right? Every 9 days, you have 27, that's three times per month, right? Say 10 days in the 3 months, where you have to pay your quarterly.
Yeah.
Say 10 days in the 3 months. You're getting 10 days, say 10 days water,
10 days water in 3 months.
and you have to
Full
for
bill.
the full 3 months. Why it have to be so, my friend?
Caller, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What you think about this report, caller, that show as a result of mass incompetence, we have 3,500 plus people
Well-
dead?
Well, there's nothing we could do about it. But the next thing, remember, I don't know if I should, but I want to say it sometime now. You say after 2,500 of them from the COVID, they get something. I hope it's true. And nobody's saying anything, what they did with it, and how much they get. But they get the U.S. money.
So, caller, in other words, they willfully allow people to die to reach the figure then?
Huh?
They willfully allow people to die to reach the figure to get something?
Yeah, they get amount for when it was, and I think they get for every 500 pass away.
Madness.
Thank you,
All right,
caller.
caller. Good night.
Aye. What is going on? Welcome, caller.
Good night, Mr. Robert and Mr. Jeffrey.
Yes, good night.
Okay.
Good night, sir.
All right, listen to me. It is so damning, that report, that as a nation, we should be balling the...
Yes.
Agree.
You understand?
Agree.
No. Was that deliberate? Was it planned? Because look at these three things that I am seeing from my vantage. elderly patient was not given a chance in the report.
You see?
80 years and over.
Wow, but
Death for you.
Right. You come in there with two characteristics. You're 80 years and over, and you have commodity.
Comorbidities here. Bye-bye.
You bye-bye. Because you know what they did? They willfully neglect the CDAP drop. That the elders could have managed their comorbidities. You understand?
Of course, caller.
And people not understanding this terrible deliberately do that. People weren't getting drugs for the last 2 to 3 years, and it's always an excuse. The head of the pharmacy, Rahman, or what they call him, telling that they don't have. All right, that is one thing. The other thing is no water. Water is the most important thing. Water and soap to mitigate against COVID prevention mechanism. They don't have that. They didn't buy, I can't pronounce the medication, it's toluene something. What was
Zuma.
Right. What is $8,000? And as Dr. Gopi Singh said, you know how much lives we could have saved?
Of course.
He did a calculation saying about 25 million to save thousands of lives. You know who they went into the parliament to appropriate money to pay him for your rent? That was, I think it's about 25 million a year you just get. Remember that tax fan fella? So they give you 25 million and they take a couple of thousand of we citizens. You understand? They compromise. Now the other thing I want to say, it was a fella by the name of Tight Pants, right?
yeah, we know what you're talking about.
Right. You know he get the COVID.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if he gets sick, I don't want them to send him to the nice facility Kama built there, the Kuva Hospital. I want them to send him to the parallel healthcare system in the tent. So then we go know if they have a functional healthcare system to treat COVID. And I want him to be treated by one nurse who looking after about it. And I want you, Cocky, you, Mr. Roberts, to start building that little box. You understand? I ain't saying no more. You really are very cautious with what I'm saying.
Thank you, caller.
Because the outcome, when you go in the tent, we know what's the outcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Yeah, but
Welcome, caller.
Hi, gentlemen. How are you all? Good night to the listeners and everybody. Well, it seems like it looks a little horrible that there is a recovery stage about to take place, because those who was in the health conference, I think, they failed us miserably. And now the people and the nation is now about to take up the protocols and the virus in their own hands. If you look around very carefully, everybody is recovering. They are moving normally, shopping, doing all the entertainment, and they're not taking on what these people are saying.
Thank you, caller, but we are 8 deaths today. Welcome, caller. 8 deaths today. Welcome, caller.
Very good evening to you, gentlemen.
yes, good day.
The Prime Minister is in Qatar and taking part, attending the oil and gas conference, oil and gas exporting countries. He will see what Doha look like. He would see the development. He would be mesmerized. He will go off his mind when he see what these people do. And these people didn't have much more money than the three oil boom, you know. According to Steve Harvey, when he went to Abu Dhabi, that is the next country. It's not about the money, it's about the vision. These people are visionary. We had it. We squandered it. And, okay, so if you squander your money, you will learn your lesson. You will try to, rearrange your finances and they can put your house in order. We still squandering. Will attend. And finally, the political leader of the UNC is calling for a commission of inquiry into the handle of this whole thing, right? Correct? Hello?
Go ahead, make your point.
Yes. But one of my problems is, the cheapest is going to cost us about 40, 50 million. But at the end of the inquiry, will anybody be held accountable? Will anybody going to prison?
Yeah, like I miss him there. Welcome, caller.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Corky and Mr. Jeffries, and to everybody out here.
Yes, Miss Santa Cruz.
Corky, I see you get shocked yesterday when Arnold was explaining you how much time they spend with one another, and they only he said it was only about 15 minutes. You see how they take things lightly in this place. But I want to commend the UNC for that virtual meeting last night. One of the best that we have seen so far. It was fiery and everything. And you can see the anger with Dr. Gopi Singh when he was explaining that report. How long since the beginning of this pandemic, Dr. Gopi Singh and the others have been raising issues concerning it. And now with this report, you think people won't be angry? Well, at least they wouldn't take that on. Yes, but in the real world, it is shocking. It is shocking, you understand? And look at it, what is going on in this country. You understand? And then they took it lightly, but you know what? I'm waiting to hear what Keith Rowley is going to say when he comes back here concerning that report, because since it was in Parliament, I don't think we heard anything from him about it, because he's very quiet after the curtail they get in January. You understand? But I'm waiting patiently.
Like we lost you there. Hello?
Yes, okay. Silver Fox here.
Yes, Silver Fox.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask a question here tonight. Is the people of Trinidad and Tobago, are we ready to move this government out of office? Is we ready to move this government out of office? I am telling you, is we ready to let us sell out WhatsApp, sell out TNTech, sell out reports, sell out everything? We ready to move them out of office? Let me tell you something, If all don't move these fellas out of office, here what will happen? It will not have any more election. These fellas don't decide to move from there because they know this is the criminal behavior they get on with. They're going to make jail. They're not going to move. We have to move them out of office, Robert. These people are evil. Rowley get power crazy. The power overriding him, and he gone crazy. I don't understand Rowley going crazy in this country. Just imagine. I want to know. The people are beat up. Look how they're suffering, right? And these people, I don't know if they like PNM more than themselves. They don't like themselves. They're not standing up for their rights. I remember some years ago, them same beat up people. They block them road. They pull mannequin. What now? The black man could put anything in their mouth and they take it and swallow it. Any pill they could put in their mouth. What happened to them that they don't believe they are people too? They have power like everybody else. The people of Trinidad and Tobago, the time has come for the set of talking to done. Let all old talk done. We could talk from now till 2025 and they don't keep no election. Every minute they go in Parliament and changing rules. These fellas don't decide to move. Election will be over in this country. We will not know anything but that again. Or else we have to stop them now. There is no more time. Time run out. Trinidad and Tobago. Readers only talk about what's going on with Fali. Let me mind your own business and take.
Like we lost him there. Fox, like we lost him there.
Thank you, Fox.
Like something short in here. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Cascadia. I want to ask Trinidad and Tobago, if they doesn't know that they have a right to go to the United Nations Declaration, the human rights body, they have a clause under chapter verse act to go to the United Nations
Yeah.
and report this paper. Report this. They could take that Trinidad and Tobago have a case before the United Nations Court of Hague under health to bring these people to justice
Yes.
for doing what they're doing.
Genocide on the public.
But I'm telling you,
Genocide.
how you reduce the health system to so that one nurse to six and seven patients because you don't want, and you spending this lump sum down in the savannah. You're spending this lump sum and people dying like fly. You could take that money and buy respirators and these things to keep people up. You spend that money, deliberate, mash up, say you want to keep carnival. That is any carnival? When you could keep a pan man who grew up in pan, out of culture. I'm talking to the steel band fraternity. You see the very few who run and grab and leave real panics. Oh,
We lost him there. Hello, welcome caller.
Hello?
Yes, good evening, caller.
Good evening, Victor!
Good day.
Good evening, Renaissance. Good evening, Corky. This is El Socorro in the house, short and sweet. Less than 2 minutes, a couple of points, right? Alright, first of all, I'd like to use the platform to congratulate the Trinidad and Tobago women footballers for their 2-0 win over with Dominica. Great win, girls, to keep it up for the World Cup. Second point, regarding the coffin boy, oh God. You had to send that coffin for runs, you had to build one for runs, and had to carry down for the people along in Burns town. God rest his soul. But, hallmark of the government, death on after death. Regarding Dr. Gopi Singh, that was an outstanding contribution, boy. He hit them for 6, boy. He hit them for 6, he bowled bouncers, he hit them out of the park. He get them out all kind of things. So big up Dr. Gopi Singh, continue to blast them up. And regarding the Prime Minister's visit to Qatar, you know, the Prime Minister have a they go. The Prime Minister is the kind of man to go to Qatar the desert day and bring back a camel for the farming Tobago, you know.
Good evening, caller.
What's going wrong here?
Victor,
Yes, sir.
this is Teasdale here, boy.
Diesel, what happening?
I cool, brother.
You had to go on the break, so make it fast.
Yeah, is it possible that the outsiders who money to the government for this health sector, is it possible that they can be called in to investigate where this money going? Because you keep talking about accountability. These people will know that they give certain money for certain things, and it is not happening. So let's try in whatever way all can to get these people to get involved for the now to have to give a submit that report, and we will now know exactly from them, because we are getting nothing from the government. We will now know exactly from them how that money spent.
Gotta go for the break. Let me take it. We go play lines when we come back. We going for a break.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Eddie's Pharmacy Limited, we have a selection of all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs to complement your wellness. Every product we carry is vetted and approved by our pharmacists who will be happy to assist you. With branches at C3 Mall inside JTA Supermarket, 1135 SS Erin Road in Pinal, and 54 Rocha Douglas Road in Barrackpore. We offer services such as blood pressure testing, blood sugar testing, cholesterol testing, and also offer a wide variety of pregnancy test kits. We accept most major health insurances. For further information, contact Eddie's Pharmacy at any of our 3 branches. C3 Mall, contact number 228-4990, 54 Rocha Douglas Road in Barrackpore at 654-2655, or SS Erin Road in Pinal, 647-0778, Eddie's Pharmacy Limited.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and
Live broadcast of the finals. 15 artists will be vying for the crown. King and Queen of Chutney Soca. Special performances by Ravi B, Nisha B, and Karma.
Go back by your mother if you want me over.
Alongside the Kal Nayak Dance Academy. Hosted by Ken Superstar and yours truly, Big Rich. So tune in Saturday, 26 February at 8 p.m. for the live broadcast of CSM 2022. Sponsored by Stag, A Man's Beer, Trinidad Salt Company Limited, Gable X, Magna Rewards, Sopolio, Wheel Wizard, and Village Ram Energy Drink. U975 FM, the official radio station for CSM 2022.
Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain, has the largest variety of toys in the Caribbean and South America. No one can beat our prices. If you see it cheaper anywhere else, prove it and we will beat it. Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain.
What goes in is a local something that makes it all taste better. It's the flavor of our culture. Come from here, come from there, and everywhere. It's the special flavor that's made us savor at the Royal Castle. Welcome the Royal Castle. Royal Castle. Flavor to the bone. Royal Castle. Taste the very own. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better. Taste the unique flavor of our culture at Royal Castle.
The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Rowley at the go, Rowley at the go, B&M must go, Rowley at the go, Rowley at the go, tell them go, Rowley at the go, Rowley at the go, B&M must go, Rowley at the go, Rowley at the go. Everyone's coming out to bring about a change. Rowley at the go, Rowley at the go. I see young and old, we crying out for this.
Welcome back, welcome back. I'm saying today that Rowley and this government have to go and they must go now. Right now. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Roberts and your co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, healthcare has never been a priority of any PNM government. And if you go back to 1986, around 1986, 85, 86, that was one of the causes of the collapse of the government then. When it was, you had Minister of Health Kamal and what people, brown paper and all these things in the hospital and all that people couldn't get. In Manning time, you had where people, children were not being able to get health care locally, and there was no attempt to get them overseas to get the necessary care. And this is how the children came up. they're not interested in that, right? What they know is that when they and their family, the elites in the society, and the oligarchs, once they get sick, they could fly out of the country. They have the private medical nursing home or whatever it is, and they can get here. The poorer people, the lower class people, the lumpen, they have to suffer. And their eyes would never be opened. They're very gullible. Even if you try to articulate their own cause, they fight against you. That is the problem. How do you raise the consciousness of the lower class people, the poor people, the people who are suffering?
All right, thank you, caller. Caller, I want you all to make it short because we have a lot of calls coming in on the line. All right, so make it short, please.
Good evening, caller.
Caller, you're already too long.
Once we're not long. The variant coming and the virus coming vibrant, deadly, and dangerous, but the recovery is creeping. And many are now like Batchak, restoring their life with a piece of little thing on the head. Good.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, hello, caller. Welcome.
Lost that one.
Keith Christopher Rowley and this team have to go now. You see, while we play and we laugh and we skin and we grin, this is a situation where people dying. Yes. We are 8 more today. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Cover.
Short and sweet.
Jeffrey.
Good night. Good
Yes,
night.
yes, good night, good night.
Cover Jeffrey. Yeah, comrade.
Yes, good night,
you
brother.
Remember in January, I did tell you, I was talking on the show, and I said Augustus Long, the killing people, and I had the evidence, and the RC went and give biscuits. Right, the report come out now.
Huh.
And what thing I want to say, right, that this, look all what you're talking about. We have 3,500 people who perish for nothing. And I hope the family come out now, you know. I only hope this is the turning point, you know.
Caller, I just hope, caller, that these people get up, stand up, and let us get rid of this government, do an investigation, jail who are to get jail, and people must be compensated.
That is true.
People must be compensated for this mass murder in this country. You see, while everybody playing politics and who playing the red and who playing the this and who playing the that, when negligence occur, when incompetence taking place and death intervene, it are no red, yellow, black and white, you know. It's death. And I'm telling earlier, this government have to go now. Now this government have to go. People have to get serious. We have to have an investigation here, Jeffrey.
And it seems like some of the people and them who purporting themselves to be good, it compartmentalize. Because in one way, or you're saying, boy, we good here, and when a certain set of people start to do things, or you turn your back. Why is that? That can't be, or it can't be good in your heart, because if it's good, it had to be good right wrong. And if it's bad, it had to be bad right wrong. Don't compartmentalize it at all.
218-7762. Why, Jeffrey?
And we had a call for international forensic investigation into what taking place.
Yeah.
Because the life of our citizen, boy, is worth more than money.
As we on this point, I want to shout out and say a special thanks to a certain individual,
a good Samaritan
from Diego Martin, who have contributed $500 today towards the wheelchair for the sister down in Beetham. So sister, I want to say that $500 was contributed today and the hamper, and it will be coming to you soon. So we ask people to call my number 316-446-8 to get your donation in to get this wheelchair up and running. Thank you, Good Samaritan. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, hello, good night. Hello?
Yes, good night.
Yeah, good night. We have a problem with a road in the area. The minister police car come in, water truck can come in, TNTech truck cannot come in. If somebody die, funeral agency cannot come in either.
What area is that, sir?
That is Dantre Sturgeon. So the news was there and still nothing to do. So we thinking about like putting it on the BBC News and on the Al Jazeera.
Dantre Stud Road.
Yeah.
Right. You have any pictures?
Hold on, Corky. Hold on, caller. I could take this caller off air to get a number. Caller, hold the line. I want to get a number from you. Hold the line.
Yeah, good night.
Right, give me a number offline there. Yes, we had to deal with this situation. Enough is enough.
Yeah, enough
Too much
is enough.
a problem with road and water and bridge and this and that and the other. We have to deal with this thing serious. Tomorrow, please God, I and Jeffrey will be going up into the Princess Song area, where we will meet the MP, and we will be going into the area where these two people lose their life.
Yes.
So that's tomorrow. We will be coming into your area in Princess Tongue. We have to fix this thing once and for all.
This
Jeffrey.
this nonsense. It had to stop. It had to stop.
Right. So caller, I have your number off air. I will give you a call.
Yeah, we have
Welcome,
a call.
caller.
Good evening, caller.
Yeah, good night.
Yes, good
Good
evening.
night. A very good report, a impressive report that Dr. Kovacic put out there, because a lot of things that he said there, we would, if he didn't do it, we would not have known that all that was taking place.
Right.
But then I hear you talking about the question of we have to get rid of them now.
Yes.
But a lot of people who were supporting them are here and I listen on the other different frequencies, and they're talking against them now though. Oh, they seem for themselves where they went wrong by putting them back. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you, caller.
And that's what we're talking about. Short and sweet. Good one, caller. I like that. You see, people had to realize that, and remember, this is not Dr. Tim Gopi Singh report, you know. This is a report from the people who Rowley sent to investigate. And it is quite clear that they are saying that they were only able to interview 25 of those files. They asked for 60, they only interviewed 25. So you could imagine the gross amount of mismanagement, death, murder, killing that occur. Welcome, caller.
Hello?
Yes, caller, you're on side.
Yeah, good evening.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, Mr. Jeffrey and Mr. Victor Robert.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good night.
I want to say to the people of Trinidad and Tobago again, the only solution to get this man back to the poll, every candidate, every MP from the opposition, whenever you stood up in the parliament to make a constitution, make it from the constitution. Keep discussing the constitution, and to you teachers in this country, if you love Trinidad and Tobago, let the population know what the constitution is about and what is the purpose of it, because this man will not surrender. He has to come home and us get a mandate. It's a new mandate. If he don't get that mandate, we cannot make that 5 years. That is destruction. People, Trinidad, all they find a way, and the easiest way is to see how this man breaks the constitution of this country, this parliament, because when they're in opposition, they will be quoting from the constitution right through, and the people will be listening to opposition. This camera person says, sir, good night to you and your people. Always just keep fixing the constitution. So will the man preaching it right through. Good night, I'm gone.
Well, this government has no respect for no constitution. You see this government? And let me tell you something, caller. Don't feel people in this country know what's going on, you know. People just plain that they know what's going on because of this government that they consider to be them government. People see from the highest office in this land that the government, that this prime minister had influenced the president in the highest office of this land to breach the the Constitution. The independent bench, who ought to be independent, to be the defense of the people of this country, they too support what the Prime Minister had done. So people know what's going on. The country had to get up and shut down this country.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut
new
it down.
mandate to call election in this country.
Shut it down.
Time for playing done. Time for playing done.
Time
you
to
see
shut
the
it down, man.
hopscotch and the moral and the pelt, the pan, and put your hand behind the back. That done. Come out. Let me stand up. They say carnival. All right. Well, since they say carnival, and people could come out and enjoy.
And oh, you have to stand up, innit? Oh, you have to stand up.
Hear my carnival song. I go be playing it home. I go be playing it in my van. I go be playing it in my ears. I go be singing it in my mind. Run it, Corky.
I see young and old, we crying out for this. Yeah.
The Fed man.
Yeah, that is it. That is what we playing. This government have no respect for law and order.
None.
When you see a government could allow the citizens to die, let me tell you something now, man. Let me tell you something. I am saying that our senior citizens should be treated special.
Yes.
They're supposed to be treated special in this country. You know why? They have paid their dues. They have paid their taxes. They have served this country to help this country to be what it is. And you go tell me that our senior citizens was allowed to die like puppies in the hospital, and people saying down and taking that, and people saying down and being quiet. Trinidad, let me tell you something. There's a calypso Corky. I think it goes something like, they buy a boat and it wouldn't float, and they say the boat was for sailing goat, and we laughing. You know that song? Corky? See if you find that one for them. See if they find that one. Because we citizens dying in the hospital, we laughing. The government breaching the Constitution, we laughing. So much of murders in the country, we laughing. Our young ladies being raped and kidnapped and killed, and we laughing. Our young men getting kidnapped, you can't even find them, and we laughing. The government eating shrimps, drinking scotch, and we laughing. We is just a pack of jokers in this country. Laugh. That's all we want to do. Laugh. And that is what is happening with us in this country. Jeffrey, here's my brother. Here's my friend.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, brother, we will. Let me say.
Take your time.
Take your time.
I know. It almost come out your mouth, Victor.
Let me say.
It almost come out your mouth.
Let me say.
Say it in the next way now.
We ain't taking this no more. I say it in the next way.
Right. I could understand that.
We're not taking this no more. We will mobilize this tongue. We will mobilize this city. We will mobilize our community. We will mobilize every street in this country. And we will demand that this government call fresh election so we could. So much I hear that is sweat and toil is people. Retrenchment, I can't take that. When they want to stop all this humiliation, I can't take that. But hear this. All they taking that? All they taking that? Tell me why all they taking that in this country. I want all to call and tell me why all they taking that. You see today? Call me. Tell me why all they taking that. Tell me why all they taking that. 218-7762. 218-7762. Tell me why all you taking what going on in this country. Because I see less than this. Plenty less than this in 2010 and 15. Less than this. And I call her say it. All the drag rope, all the drag chain, all the drag mannequin, all the drag box, all the drag everything that there is to drag. And today, all this saying down and take this. All this saying down and take this in this country.
I know you see the report.
What I'm telling you, what I'm glad about is that this report is not the UNC report. This report is the PNM report. This is Rowley Big Mouth. I appoint a committee, and in 7 days, you see, he expecting 7 days, they would have failed and they would have covered up. That's what he expects.
I know Victor, they like to play this race card.
Yes.
You understand it not that yet?
That's why they taking
Come out now. Come out now.
That is why they taking that.
Come out now, Kid Rowley. Say something, I'm waiting for you because I don't know you go and play this race card and don't talk for Fitzgerald. Go there. That is the #1 trump card.
Yeah.
But we go hang here, Jack.
Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good night, gentlemen.
Yes, good night. Good night.
Brother Victor.
I know this voice. I know this voice. I know this voice.
Yes, good night.
Jeffrey and Corky. Yeah, man. Well, we see what's going on. We see the results, but well, yeah, I mean, it's not surprising because that team they was talking about, that was the they call that the death squad.
Yes, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, killing a lot of people. I mean, people suffered. They had 22 billion. I know what they do with it. People hungry, you know. So, I mean, it's enough to convince the people, but I know what the people want again to open their eyes. I know.
Let me tell you something. You know how much of my family get COVID? and they see about it home and they well. You know how much? You know how much other people I know who get COVID all through my community, they stay home and see about themselves.
Yeah.
And they well.
Right.
You hear what I tell you, my brother?
Yeah, I mean, when you do that and then to go in the hospital where you ain't sure to come out. You go in alive and you ain't sure to come out alive. Right? And these people getting big money, they're getting all kind of by degree and thing in university.
Yes.
To kill people, to murder people.
Honorary degree they get in.
No, honorary degree, boy, here, man, we in real trouble in this place, you know. Real trouble.
My
but
brother,
trouble.
I had to come and see you because we had to talk off air.
No problem, man. I was thinking about getting in touch with you too, and
I will come and see you. I will come and see you. Enough is enough. I'll come in and see you.
No problem, man. Anytime.
All right, brother. Good night. And Victor, people dying, they're setting them up in the hospital. And imagine home they're setting them up too. Because when yeah, good night, Gola.
Yes, Silver Fox.
Yes,
here.
Silver Fox.
We get you back.
Right. We had to fight this election like carnival because they said the city burned down and we jamming still. Right? plain clothes sing we laugh and we laughing. Plain clothes. Right? Just get plain clothes and you'll get the tune. We laughing.
I'm going to bring that, Fox.
Huh?
Plain clothes is the name. Thank you, Fox. Plain clothes. Yeah. Pull up that tune. I want you start over that tune. You know why? You see the first stanza in this song? I want Trinidadians to try to listen to it. Don't hear it, you know. Listen to it. Run it.
of taking serious things for nonsense and laughing. Anything that take place in this country, whether it affects the country or we laughing. Wasser and Gastro in the same rate, hospital and stiffness in second place, and we laughing. When our people coming from heaven knows, they walk in the street with the thing exposed, and we laughing. Everybody laughing, everybody glad, everybody kicks in our fun, we in Trinidad.
You see, I don't know if what we hear in here is a direct vision. Koki, the first stanza, the man never called Tobago name, you know. You notice the man never called Tobago name. The man said Trinidad people better, it's time to learn some sense, you know. So like he already see the future that Tobago always had sense. And Trinidad was always about nonsense. So he come and he say that it's about time the people in Trinidad get some sense. What that tell you, Trinidad? Trinidad, what that tell you, boy? So that ain't telling all you what going on. That ain't telling all you it's time to stop laugh. That ain't telling all you it's time to take life serious. That ain't telling all you it's time to defend the Constitution. That ain't telling all you it's time to defend the future of your children. That ain't telling all you it's time to stand for fairness, justice, and equity. That ain't telling all you it's time to stand up against this government that continue to perpetrate all kind of wickedness against all you in every community, especially the community where they control. We live in Labre, and I'm saying to the people of Labre, it is time that we all get some sense.
Yeah.
It is time that we all set a new dilemma in the constituency of Labre and let Trinidad and Tobago know that Labre people have sense. Because the government continue to treat us as though we have no sense at all. Because they promise your vote. They promise your vote. They deceive you, your vote. They promise your vote. They deceive you, your vote. So what you're going to do? What you're going to do?
Boy, the feel, boy.
Bring it.
Boy, boy, boy. Hi, hi, hi. Boy, boy, boy. Hi, hi, hi. Affecting the rich and poor. I say in this bandit world.
Welcome, caller.
Good night, Victor. Good night, JD. Good night, Corky.
Yes, sir. Good night. Good night.
Victor, by this, I just giving you a little tip on this one. But it's one I have to discuss with you in camera. I have a partner recently got into an accident with a vehicle accident. Went to Point Fortin Hospital. Point Fortin Hospital say they don't have any X-ray machine down there. Until he find his way to San Fernando Hospital. No ambulance, no nurse, nothing. The man is injured.
Wow.
The man had to call his family. Family hire one of them long-term seekers and take him to the San Fernando Hospital. He was X-rayed at the San Fernando Hospital. Sent in a waiting room, and then later come and some nurse was ordered to ban his foot and tell him a little bounce and swell and thing. He went up on the northern side of the country, still in a lot of pain. That is after about 7 days. Went back to another government institution. Fresh X-ray was taken. And then it was discovered the man's foot was broken.
Wow.
The man's foot was broken.
Madness.
His foot now gone in cast.
Madness.
After a week plus, and he went to medical institution. One down on the southwestern peninsula down here, the Point Fortin Hospital, who didn't even
have a machine.
They didn't even have an extra machine, and they didn't even have the common decency to put the man in an ambulance.
Wow.
And that was the name of that tune, but you'll talk more on it.
All right,
in
brother.
camera. Okay, man.
Thank you very much, brother. No problem.
What the kind of carnage that taking place now, boy?
Boy, brother, I don't know what's going on in this country. Welcome.
Just one more.
Caller, you have to low down. You have to low down. You're going to damage our eardrum, caller. You have to low down when you're calling, caller. Otherwise, we will have to cut you off. Right, so let me go again. Bring a piece of that tune there from your corky, the bandit. Oh, the bandit. Yeah, I want to hear the bandit. Yes, man. Let me see if I can see the government ministers and them jumping for this tune here, Carnival morning.
In this bandit war, frustrating the boys and girls. You don't have to be a capitalist to be on the wanted list. The operation is roll up tight. I'm the mugging black is white. 100 million missing in PCO. Who give we money we want to know. That's a bandit.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Good evening, caller.
Hi, Mr. Albert.
Yes, sir, we hearing you.
Right, good night.
Good night.
I want to say something, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 2014, I spent 2 weeks in the Port of Spain General Hospital, right? I had broken tibia and fibula, broken badly.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that going on now, similar to what was going on then.
Mm-hmm.
In that, I heard a caller calling and talk about, I heard you saying about the breakfast being late and whatnot. I was there for 2 weeks, and the breakfast used to come 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. The lunch coming 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I could relate to that. As a matter of fact, it was so bad that the people and them on the ward, because I was on the orthopedic ward, the people and them on the ward start ordering KFC. So the KFC and Castleman coming in the place whole time, calling out the people and them name, because the nurses and them was under pressure as well. Because sometimes you had like about 20-something people on that ward and one nurse.
So let me ask you a question, caller.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
So, if in 2014 it was bad, were you trying to tell me that in 2022 it's supposed to be the same way?
No, I'm not saying that.
No, I just asking.
No. Listen, I'm not saying that at all, Mr. Roberts. I just was trying to make a comparison, right? The point I was trying to make is that the healthcare system in this country has been in a shambolic state for years, right? For years. Government come, government go, and it has remained the same way. It ain't changed at all. Imagine, I
wouldn't agree with you there.
Huh?
I would not agree with you there.
All right, well, that's fine. But I just giving you an experience, right? That's fine. I giving you an experience, right? Imagine I was there. They're telling you to take an X-ray on your foot, right? And the wheelchair that they had to use, my foot broken, they had to take a piece of board and push it below my foot to keep the foot in the air. They carry me across to which part they do the X-ray. Now hear this, when they're going across to carry me to the X-ray, right? The foot broken, the players out there, they pitch it and it has set a hole and things. So when the man pushing me on the wheelchair going down in a set a hole and cutting up the foot, it was a terrible experience. Now here's something else. I call it from Tobago.
Call, I'll make it quick. I can't get you all that time. Make your point quick.
Right. So okay, the point I'm trying to make is that the healthcare system in a really bad state, and we need to do something about it, right? Totally.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
This Carnival weekend, U975 FM,
the official radio station for CSM 2022,
brings to you the live broadcast of the finals. 15 artists will be vying for the crown.
King and Queen of Chutney Soca.
Special performances by Ravi B, Nisha B, and Karma.
Go back by your mother if you want me over.
Alongside the Kalnayak Dance Academy, hosted by
Ken Superstar
and yours truly, Big Rich.
So tune in Saturday, 26th February at 8 p.m. for the live broadcast of CSM 2022, sponsored by Stag, A Man's Beer, Trinidad Salt Company Limited, Gable X, Magna Rewards, Sopolio, Wheel Wizard, and Village Ram Energy Drink. U975 FM,
The official radio station for CSM 2022.
Time has come. U97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Eddie's Pharmacy Limited, we have a selection of all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs to complement your wellness. Every product we carry is vetted and approved by our pharmacists who will be happy to assist you. With branches at C3 Mall inside JTA Supermarket, 1135 SS Erin Road in Pinal, and 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore. We offer services such as blood pressure testing, blood sugar testing, cholesterol testing, and also offer a wide variety of pregnancy test kits. We accept most major health insurances. For further information, contact Eddie's Pharmacy at any of our 3 branches. C3 Mall, contact number 228-4990, 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore at 654-2655, or SS Erin Road in Pinal, 647-0778, Eddie's Pharmacy Limited.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain, has the largest variety of toys in the Caribbean and South America. No one can beat our prices. If you see it cheaper anywhere else, prove it and we will beat it. Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain.
Douglar Radio is now on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. with Anil Roberts, bringing you the facts on politics and up-to-date information. Also taking your calls on 218-7762. Douglar Radio on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Get ready for the revolution. Come on, what you say?
Sponsored by Royal Castle.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Welcome, caller. Welcome.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night, sir. I just want to say something. This morning I went to the General Hospital, San Antonio Teaching Hospital. I have my brother inside. He gets sick. He suffers with cancer. So I went to meet the doctor this morning to ask him what's happening. I go on to the nurse. The nurse told me, hold on a little bit. Hold on. I find it taking long. I go, I can ask she. He said, hold on. And next nurse come and tell him, who is you to he? I say, well, I'm my brother. So when I tell she said, well, the doctor will give you no information and nothing. So the person who be on name on the paper who have to come and say, well, I'm my wife and she have a sick patient home to which she's seen, so she can't get to come.
Right.
So I come to find out. She tell me, no, the doctor says he's not talking to nobody strange because the contact and thing what I have is my wife one. I say, but my wife be home and come and I'm my brother. And they say no. Listen, I'm saying no, that they cannot thing and they treat people like hogs inside there. If you had to talking to people. Right?
Where that is again called the San Fernando?
Teaching hospital.
Teaching hospital. Yeah, and I went to find out my brother is on Sunday, and we are getting to know nothing. Right, so that's why I end up going this morning to find out from the doctor.
Well, all right, caller. Thanks for your call. Sometimes as be welcome.
Judgment quickly. I don't like to hear about division and discrimination. It will only be a setback to what we want to attain that change. Only it could be, as we as a people, a nation, a unifying force, we will be victorious. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, caller. 218-7762. What I'm saying, Corky, with the caller before is that sometimes I don't know. Sometimes there's a particular arrangement because I remember when I get shot and I was in the hospital, there was a list of persons who was immediate family who could have seen me, and out of that list, they were only allowing 3 persons. So I don't know. Sometimes there is certain arrangement that they make and so on, but we will look into that because I find it a bit strange if my brother come to look for me and I'm sick in the hospital. No, this is he said that his brother is a cancer patient. So I find it just a little bit strange, but I just put that out there to show that sometimes based on how critical you are or based on sometimes they put things in place that could happen, right? But nevertheless, 218-7762 is the number. So Corky, as we were saying, I think that this thing that happened in this country here, based on this report that came out, I think that it warrants a serious investigation. And the reason why I agree with Jeffrey by saying international forensic investigation is because we have too many independent institutions in this country that is compromised by the political directorate. And that is a serious thing. When you have the political directorate interfering with who becomes the police commissioner or the acting commissioner, when you have the prime minister stating that he do have confidence in X and he want Y and he want Z and so on, it's a serious situation. We will really have no trust in the... A matter of fact, I believe that people have no trust in the independent institution, because when you hear Senator Vera, who sits in the parliament and make it plain that judges, high court judges call him and they was dissatisfied with members of the opposition, that is a serious indictment on the part of the independent judiciary. I know for a fact that the honorable leader wrote to the Chief Justice and is still awaiting some kind of response. I personally have none whatsoever, no confidence, because in the Chief Justice, and I will tell you why. When there were allegations against the Chief Justice, and you had a Prime Minister who didn't see it fit to appoint the of these allegations that were brought against him in relation to the Law Association. I am saying, Jeffrey, that in the absence of given the opportunity to be heard, where an important office as the Chief Justice, I mean, it's the highest form of independency in relation to the judiciary. And when you have a Chief Justice with so many allegations who were not able to clear himself, whether it be as a result of the negligence of the Prime Minister, but the story still remain that there is allegation to be cleared up, allegation that had not been cleared, and therefore how much confidence would you have in an independent institution where the head of that institution have questions to answer? And of course, we have seen the Gary Griffith fiasco as a result of the Prime Minister interfacing and conspiring, implicating the President in mass corruption, simply by interfering, whereby the President failed in her duty to submit the merit list to the Parliament, where the Prime Minister would have still had a say. But our sources reveal that there were those on the government bench who have decided to support Gary Griffith's nomination. So in order to boycott, in order to pervert the course of natural justice, the Prime Minister had to intervene and cut short the merit list from reaching to the Parliament of this country, and as a result collapsing the whole Police Service Commission. Today we have not heard anything whatsoever about any investigation into Blissy Passad and into that commission and into the President. None whatsoever. So where do we stand? Where do we stand at this point in time in this country? When you have all these when you have so many independent institutions compromised with political affairs by a bull,
a raging bull,
a bald-head bull. Yeah.
As Silver Fox say, he have blue eyes in it.
Yeah. So I mean, on a real serious note, I mean, what confidence would you have in any serious inquiry into the mishandling of this pandemic? Remember, we are now speaking where government ministers can be implicated in a very serious way. And when you have a government who have no respect for law and order, as we have seen with this government, I mean, it is only fair that we call for outside
forensic
professionals
to
come to investigate what have transpired, what caused so many deaths as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is what we have to do in order to get the job done. Because remember, we have the Attorney General, who the Prime Minister support and defend by a secret document that the Attorney General put in place with a certain Queen's Council. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Mr. Koki, Mr. Roberts, and Jeffrey.
Yes, good night.
I would like to use your forum to say that the team that investigate the COVID deaths, congratulations to them that they are independent. And that's our first move. And if the President of the Republic could take example, and Jacob, the acting commissioner, could take example to be independent like them and do the job without fear or favor, and let the chips fall where they may. And all the commissions that what the political interference, they should act like that. And kudos to the team who give Rowley what he asked for, the truth. And this is first time under the PNM. So I would like to highlight that. And one more thing, that Mr. Farley, Chief Sec, I congratulate you that the first time in the history Tobago will get a Hindu temple, and continue the good work. That is true unity. Have a nice night.
Thank you, caller. And I have no problem, caller, whatsoever with your congratulations to the team, but I will wait. I will wait for that forensic investigation. I will wait for that forensic investigation, because you see, in this country, you have to measure the height with a tape.
But I want to ask a question, Mr. Victor. Mr. Rowley, he called for the investigation, right? So he didn't have an idea, a clue what was going on all the time?
Brother, I think the Prime Minister is fully well aware of the incompetence. The Prime Minister is fully well aware what transpired. The Prime Minister, remember, the Prime Minister boasted this country, and he said to us that he, as the head of the National Security Council, is privy to information that we as normal citizens would not be privy to. You see, why I was telling the caller just now, I will wait, is because you have to measure something with an instrument that is capable of telling you how many, pardon? Nah, not how many more was there. It must an instrument that will be able to tell you how high, how deep, how long. And in order to measure this partial report, that it's now on the front burner, I also need, Victor Roberts, need an in-depth report. And when that in-depth report comes out corky, then I would know exactly what happened. Remember, thus far, the report points many areas of serious negligence.
Yes.
But so far, the report didn't tell me nothing about the deaths of these people.
Yes, yes.
This report didn't tell me about the serious amount of deaths that occur on the wards. The report didn't tell me what I need to know. So while I welcome this partial report that exposes the level of incompetence, the level of a lack of medicine, the level of the lack of manpower, the resources, and all that, I will wait. I will wait. Because for me to measure what is independent, I have to measure it that is with something that I can use to compare. So I am not just taking, while I am grateful for what came out of that report, at the same time, I am waiting a lot more in the mortar beside the plantain. And I know somebody might say the pestle, but it's more than that. It is more than that. And I could judge from the direction in which this report points. The report points you in a particular direction.
Yeah.
And if you are to look in the direction of this report, it will tell you that is much more inside of there that is now on the front burner.
Yeah.
You follow me, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'm following you.
So I am waiting. I am waiting for that investigation, because somebody needs to tell us why these actual deaths occur. Somebody need to tell us how they occur. Somebody need to tell us why. Because, Jeffrey, we highlighted 77 ventilators.
Yes.
We highlighted that. And when you speaks of 77 ventilators, and on one ward we had 30, at one occasion, more than one occasion, we had Avery Hines and all of them telling us that the parallel healthcare system is overrun, and here full, day full, here full, day full, day full. And if we had a capability of, let's just say, 125, and we compare that we had 77 ventilators, and we compare that 80 or 90 persons needed to be on that ventilator, I think I share a story with Trinidad and Tobago where one of my friend who was in Point 14, who, because, and these are serious things, you know, these are serious things. I said to Trinidad and Tobago, one of my friends were actually saying he was responsible for someone else dying, simply because the nurse or whoever or whatever, a decision was made in the hospital by whoever, I don't know, to remove someone off the ventilator,
yes,
and put him on the ventilator, which not too long after, a day or so, the individual who came off of the ventilator died.
Yeah.
And I mean, while there may very well be nothing to it, it is also warranted an investigation to see what really transpired in our healthcare system. And that is as real as it can be. You see, if we have professionals who stood up on a weekly basis, who took an oath, and they came publicly and lied to our citizens, blatantly lie, giving us statistics that is incorrect, giving us information in relation to the healthcare system that is incorrect, then I am saying there must be a case for these individuals to answer. Because remember, we are dealing with a situation where people die.
Yes.
It is just not normal negligence. It is a situation where people lose their life.
On a mass scale.
On a mass scale. So it is a situation that needs to be investigated thoroughly, and there is also a situation where we need to bring the competent persons to do this investigation. We need to bring a group, a body, an agency where we, the people of this country, have confidence in. Because you can't tell me that we're paying so much millions for rent, and we're paying so much millions in every aspect of governance, and we can pay some millions to get down to the truth of our citizens who die by 3,500 plus. Nah, no amount of money.
None.
Just as Dr. Tim Gopi Singh said that no amount of money is too much money to save the lives of our citizens.
Yes.
I am saying that in this case, the government continue to throw away worse money than that. We need to get down to the bottom of this, and people need to be held accountable. That is my bottom line.
Yes.
That is my bottom line. So, Corky.
Yes, sir.
I am saying, as we continue, that we, the people in this country, the time has come that you have to decide where we go from here. All you have to decide where we going from here, you know.
Well, I thought you was going home from here. That's true, for real.
Where we going
That's
in
serious
terms of governance in this
not
country.
joking thing again.
Because we
Yes.
cannot, Corky, we have seen government call election for less.
Yes.
For less.
Is the Prime Minister, is he afraid to call election?
I think Tobago say it, and Tobago say that the amount of corruption that they're afraid to call election because some of them will go to jail.
Oh gosh.
Some of them will go to jail.
And some of them need to, some of them need to get a trial. They
So
should
they
go
mean-
right in jail. They open them and they push them inside.
So in the meantime,
Inside.
people have to suffer. Look, Sandra Mongol calling so much time, no water in Kelly. She has no water.
Corky, let me tell you what's going through my mind right now.
I don't understand what's going on.
Let me tell you what's going through my mind right now, Corky.
Yes.
I want to know.
Right.
I want to understand. I want to see if these people in this country really going to sit down.
When you say these people, you mean the citizens?
All of them.
Right.
Everyone.
That have nothing to do with race.
No race.
People. Right.
People.
Right.
All the citizens. PNM, UNC, and undecided. All of them. I want to see if these people going to sit down in this country. And when I say PNM, UNC, and undecided, I'm talking about the supporters.
Yes.
The supporters, all they are talking to.
And the people, the non-voters too.
I want to see if all they're going to sit down in this country and allow this government to cover every track, to cover every negligent,
Yes.
to cover every incompetent, to cover every form of corruption, from health to food card to WASA to Petrotrin.
Yes.
I really, really want to see if the people in this country lose their sanity. I want to see that. I want to see, after all these trade unions, all you,
Yes, yes.
everyone betray the people of this country. Every one of you. For the time being, I'm going to give the PSC a little blind.
Yeah.
Because I know they have a fresh leader.
Yeah. But all the rest of them fail people.
Betray!
And you know something? I did call, and people might be vexed, and all them trade unions and them, the people who in these senior positions and them, the general secretary and them, should resign from office. That is how it is. That is how real it is. Because, why, Victor, you know what people that be, you can tell them, you know, people that reach out to we because the trade union not standing up for them. It's buyout after buyout. Talk to them that.
Boy, Corky,
tell
people
them the
from
truth.
PTSC, people from lease operators,
Yes.
people from Heritage, people calling, begging for help. Corky, the trade unions in this country,
Yes.
let me tell you something. You see people like Butler and George Weeks.
Yes.
Boy, them fellas may be kicking up a storm if they could only see what their successors have done to Trinidad and Tobago. For Trinidad and Trinidad and Tobago, if they could only see what they have done by selling out this country to the highest bidder.
Yes, call us on 218-7762. Yeah.
Good night again, Corky, Jeffries, and Victor Robert.
Good evening.
You see what you say there? You hit the nail on the head. The union has sold out the citizens of this country. I think TNT get as 000 for 15 to 17. In terms of increases, 0 in the industrial court. And the ruling in the industrial court, 2 of the 3 people I'm aware of were former trade union. You remember the Bank and General Workers Trade Union?
Yeah.
Man, he's the industrial judge now. So you rule against Roger and them. When the former Prime Minister, the Honorable Ms. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, was giving everybody a little piece of thing, what they say? And the mannequin man say, no, he want more. Now we getting less. And he's saying quiet. They have been bought out. No, I strain a little bit. Another thing I'm very, very annoyed. How they have mashed up the education system. You know, there was a judgment today where a contractor by the name of NH won a lawsuit against, I think it's EFCL and by extension the Ministry of Education. And you know, EFCL did not put in a defense. And that is so sad.
Caller, that the case for the how much million? The thing
14 million.
14 million.
And he won it with no defense. And you're telling me Taipans and them, he's head of all government thing. He didn't take that. Yeah, because he didn't finish as the government's, this PNM vaccine government didn't finish his school. So the man put in a lawsuit and the government didn't turn up, so they gave him it easy. No, you have to understand the manual of O'Halloran, what did this do. This is more to the mortal than the pestle, you know.
Of course.
You remember that man was the chairman of PSCT, what they put into the ground ball, they want a mud ball. Was this a payback? And I want to know if there's a precedent set in the court now for all them contractors who waiting 5-6 years to get their money. They should go by the Ministry of Education and collect the check. Or will Tight Pants litigate against them so he family, friends and best friends go get money as lawyers just to draw it out, because eventually you don't settle with one thing by not putting in a defense, by giving them away taxpayers' money. And because of that wickedness of the thing, the education system has fell apart. Go and have a nice night.
All right. Sad, boy. It's really sad.
Voila. You see this country? This country had too much of footballers. Everybody want to kick back.
Kick back.
Yeah, they kicking the ball forward. You know. Everybody kicking back.
You mean dress back and just...
No, Corky, come on, man. Get it now, Corky, man.
Kicking
Get
back.
Get it, Corky.
I'm trying to get
kick
the program.
back, Corky. Kick back. Kick
First
back.
time I learning all these things, you know. I never knew this
So,
political
Corky,
side of
let me tell you something,
Yes.
right? So, I's a lawyer, right?
Right.
I could give you, I could file a case on behalf of you, right?
Right.
The person who I put in court
Mm-hmm.
on your behalf, they could call me and say, well, Victor, here what happening, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I will concede with this, you know, but Or give me something on that side.
Oh, make a deal.
Kickback.
Oh, kickback.
Read between the lines.
Right.
Read between the lines.
Boy, let me tell you something.
So everything is a game playing thing, boy.
Cocky, I'm coming right back again. I want to
Yes.
know what's going on with Trinidadians. I want to know if
You see,
Trinidadians...
the thing about it is a lot of people not educated and don't know about these things. And that is why they just want to keep them in this corner. They don't know. The people who don't vote, the people who just they're poor, they don't know. Look for me. First time I get so up close and hearing about and learning about what is going on in the country for so much years.
Right. Well, Cocky, I think that is the whole plan of the program, to educate the people.
And I'm a non-voter. I never voted in my life, so you know what I'm saying. This is all these things.
Well, I know Anel done convince you already, so I ain't worried about it.
Yeah, but this is really bad, you know.
Cocky.
Yes.
Let me tell you something what I know people know. Everybody know how much trouble they see in this country.
Yes.
If they know about kickback, they know about constitution, they know about all that. But they know they see in trouble. And everybody also know, in order not to see trouble, you have to get rid of this government.
Yes.
Everybody know that.
But
The
I'm
man
hearing
who
that.
vote and all.
But how do we go about doing that? We have to wait, what? We want to do it, or we have to wait, what, 2 years, 3 years to do it? Or what do we have to do? Come out, protest,
If you wait
what?
so long, it might not. It
Okay.
might not. Trinidad
People
again.
dying, people hungry, and we have to get rid and stand up and get rid of the government. And what's the plan?
Cocky,
Yes.
I don't think I can give them the plan no more, I give them this plan here.
Yes. I mean, you're a person stand up. You did a
week.
lot. You did a lot.
Every week I come here,
Yes.
I tell this country what is the plan.
All right.
I tell this country, shut down your community.
Yes.
Every week I telling them that.
Okay.
Welcome, Kola.
Good night again. Cocky,
Hello.
I can't believe what you just said.
What is the truth?
You never vote in your life.
No.
That is what we see in all the trouble, Cocky.
Oh, it's me.
All the trouble.
I didn't realize.
That's why I get in water.
I like
You
that.
never vote. Come on.
Cocky responsible.
What?
You can't respond to that.
You disappoint me. You never vote.
You can't respond to that one.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
to carry you with me to vote.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kola.
What? I didn't know.
Oh, you feel people ain't listening here?
Yes.
Okay, I tell this country what to do.
Good evening, Mr. Roberts.
Good day, sir.
Yes.
You forget one small thing when you're talking about people who want to get rich. If you want to get rich, you also have to be, one of the options is to be in the cabinet of the PNM.
I call her.
Oh, Lord.
Gentlemen, where you have
Hey,
to
Rowley, I spare some me and Jeffrey there, why?
Oh, so you had to get in.
Huh?
You had to get in the parliament.
Let me tell you how me and Jeffrey joined in this PNM.
Yes.
Rowley had to appoint we
Yes.
as senators. And when he done appoint we as senators, he have to appoint we
Yes.
as the prime minister.
Okay.
He had to step down. Put we in charge. And as he do that today,
Yes.
we call an election tomorrow.
All right.
Because see, the problem is not Rowley alone, you know. The problem is all of them.
Okay.
All of them.
Good evening, caller.
Yes, man. Silver Fox here. Now, we have a problem here, and we have to get rid of this problem very, very quick. Now, Victor fighting, and he's fighting for us.
Yes.
And we some of them coming and having things like pushback. They say they don't mind going up to 10 pushback. When they push back 10 times, like, that is when they got some pushback. Eh? They're doing nonsense. They're doing nonsense. We had to shut down this place. They only talk about like somebody getting a cut from this pushback thing. Big sensible men. Big sensible men. I hearing they talking about what? Camilla. One time they're saying Camilla must come out. One time they're saying they're confused. I don't know what is their agenda, right? But these men, some of them is old men. I don't know what they want to fight Camilla for. Go in the ring and fight. Throw your boxing gloves in the ring.
Yeah.
Although easy sailing, although easy sailing to power, what is their plan? They have some agenda. Because one time they're talking Camilla good, and next time you don't even know if they're talking Camilla good again.
Yes.
It's a confusing set of individuals.
Mr. Fox, when you coming down here, we told you to come down. We want you to come down, man. Trinidad.
Well, I want to come down, but I want to hear the people them coming and telling you, Victor, are you ready to shut down and let we have a talk? And are you ready to come to talk with everybody?
All right, beautiful.
Okay, right.
Are you ready for the people to say, Victor, we ready for a talk with all of them who called in on this station and more?
Yes.
Victor, we ready for a talk? And then they gave the number privately and we could talk. We could contact one another privately.
Yes.
Right.
And we meet in Trinidad and we talk. Because some people have power, they could do plenty different things.
Right.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yes,
So
sir.
let us see. And when they say, I am coming,
Right.
even though I have to leave my mother with my boy here for 2 days, I come in.
Right.
Right? Are you ready to come? I'm a passenger already. I'm ready to come.
Beautiful, folks.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Trinidadian just have to say we're ready and I come in.
Right.
Right?
I agree.
Because I want freedom. I don't want no chains around my feet. I don't want no chains around my neck.
Right.
Right? I am not a slave no more. I passed that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, folks.
That's a silver fox.
And Victor, I know they just get quiet when Fox says something. But a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And the man talking about a serious thing, and I know he ain't want to go into that with no set of depths in it.
Yes.
But you had to let the people know the truth. This is not no game thing. There is not no advertisement. There is not no pushback thing. It's push out.
Yeah. Push out, you say.
But let me tell you something, and I go deal with it. Let me tell you something. I want to tell you something.
Yes.
People had to get serious in this country.
Yes.
Can anybody tell you about that?
How do we get serious?
This is not about me, and it's not about you.
Yes.
It is about we, all of us.
Yes.
Let me take this one.
All right.
Like they want me to talk about this.
Hello?
One more thing, gentlemen. If you want a seat in government, take a course in corruption.
What?
What?
You have to take a course.
That's the best comment I hear you make for the night. Let me tell you something. Corky.
Yes.
People tend to believe the other listener calling on the ground report.
Right.
The caller was stating that some feel that this is the best program and others feel ground report is the best program. I don't have time. I don't have time with that. I don't have time with that. I want to know what is best for the country.
Yeah. That's right.
That is what I'm interested in. So I listen it, I ain't comment, I ain't entertain it, nothing, because I want to know what is best for country.
Yes.
You see, we all in this country have to understand that life is more than us.
Yes.
Life is not about Victor Roberts. Life is not about Jeffrey. While we are included in life, life doesn't center around us.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? And until we understand that, is until we will feel that life had to center around me, or Jeffrey had to feel life had to center around him. In this country, we are faced with a situation where we have an out of control government.
Yeah.
Some people believe that they are the ones to lead. Some people believe that they are the ones, and I didn't want to go into this tonight, I said tomorrow, but I will just shadow what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. some people believe that they are the ones that could achieve political leadership without being tried and tested.
Yeah.
Right.
And some of them want to use every opportunity that is available to try to mobilize a support
Yeah.
to see if they could be a leader of a party through a support that they could storm.
Yeah.
Right.
That they could storm with. And it cannot work. I am telling you, Corky.
Yes.
And I say it already, I will say it again. I am the person that was responsible for the first pushback.
Yeah.
Right.
I am the person that spoke with members of the Gong Report, members of different groups, and so on and so on.
Mhm.
The idea behind it was to mobilize the people,
Yes.
bring the people at a certain point where we would have been able to strategize the way forward.
Right. And what
Right.
happened?
Some people did not keep their end of the bargain by
Yes.
providing what was necessary to do the job.
Right.
All right? Now, be that as it may, I never, the reason why I didn't do it
Yes.
is because I started to see something emanating out of the pushback that was more than the pushback. Welcome, caller.
Hello?
Sorry to cut you. What is the topic you're on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it loud and clear and plain without putting water in my mouth. The Mahasabha, may God rest his soul, where he is. You remember when he was the President General? 1 minute he talked the UNC nice, 1 minute he talked the COP nice, and then he talked Manning. And then in the meeting in the same evening, he could be teachers and sing the national anthem proud.
Right.
This is what's going on right now. 1956, Kapil Richard, all of them fighting. Then they come up to Mazir Pandey and the Shikha workers and them, they fighting. And this one wants, I want to be the leader. I want to be the supreme one.
Yeah.
And you see where it's gone? It's gone straight through the door. And nobody know that while Rowley and India thieving out everything. And if they give more time they give, it's India they give it time, not Rowley. Because Rowley don't have what he has. It's India thieving out to sell out everything. And I don't understand why people can't just come together and let's move forward. Have a nice night.
Yes.
Thank you, caller.
I feel it has a lot to do with race.
No, but
division.
listen, let me finish this topic.
Yes.
So when I see certain things emanating out of this pushback, I took a position and I withdraw myself.
Right.
Remember Jeffrey?
Yeah.
I spoke to Jeffrey.
Well, the people had a different plan?
No. It's
What?
more than that.
All right.
It's more than that. So what I did, I withdrew myself from that.
Yes.
Okay? And that is as far as it goes. You see, I want to say something to you, my brother.
Yes.
Plenty people who speak unity use unity as just as a word.
Yes.
Okay.
But unity is not an intention. I'm going to say it again.
Yes.
Plenty people who speak unity use it just as a word, but not as an intention. And life is such a thing that you ever hear people say that they could see through you?
Yeah, I see right through you. There's a song.
Right. People have a tendency of seeing things that is not real.
Yes.
And when people see things that is not real, what will eventually happen is that it will reveal itself.
Yes.
It will reveal itself. And this is just what is happening. You see, until people in this country take a genuine position to look after the interests of this country and the future of this country, is until this country will will continue to run by this bunch of animals that run in it. Because, you see, my brother, life is a very, very serious thing.
Right.
And we have to understand that this life is more than just you. You just have a role and a part to play. And when your role and part expire, that would be the end of your role and your part. All of us have a part to play in this life. But sometimes we just want to play a part that we are not commissioned to play by the one who created us. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to be a leader, but nobody wants to make the sacrifice that goes with leadership. Cocky, leadership is not a joke. Leadership is not a game, you know. Leadership is a serious thing. And you have to understand that leaders, you cannot make a leader. Leaders were born. You cannot make a leader.
Yes.
I could take you and train you to be a footballer, a tennis player, a swimmer. But I could never train you to be a leader. Because a leader comes with something from inside of you. A leader is one who sacrificed himself for the people. A leader is one who put people before himself. A leader is one who leads from the front and not from behind. A leader is one that take you through a journey. And when you go through the desert, and a leader is offer a bottle of water. Except there is water for everybody to drink. That leader don't ever drink.
Okay, yes.
Welcome, caller.
Yes, Teasdale again.
Yeah,
I am much money. I'm glad you're talking about leader day. I'm glad you're talking about leader day. Watch Martin Luther King. I have 1 minute. Watch
right.
Martin Luther King, who in front? Watch Mahatma Gandhi, who in front? Watch Uriah Butler, who in front? Watch Basdev Pandey, who in front? Watch my woman. And when the money done tomorrow, please God, I put money on this phone.
Right.
And like I tell you, attacking.
Yes.
Right? Kamala, what's a chessboard? A chessboard, it have the pawn, it have the queen, it have the knight, it have the king, it have the bishop. Who in front? The pawn them in front. The pawn them they're pushing in front. Right? Tomorrow, please God, are coming in Kamala backside like a raging bull. You hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Right? You're talking about leader, don't contradict yourself. I'm listening here. You're my soul here. But don't contradict yourself.
So I'm going to help you before tomorrow reach.
All right.
I'm going to help you before tomorrow reach.
Yeah, like money that. So what is he really saying there?
So, that's no. So Teasdale, let me tell you something. You compare Martin, you compare Basdale, you compare all of them, and you are right.
Right.
But what you need to understand, Teasdale, is that you compare all of them outside of a pandemic. You compare Pandey and everybody outside of a pandemic. And Kamla Prasad Bisesa, who is the leader of the opposition, Kamla Prasad Bisesa have to set the example in this country, especially where law and order is concerned. So you could attack Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and I will support you in attacking her if Kamla fail to do what she have to do outside of the pandemic in terms of hitting the streets and calling for all the supporters to follow her. I will support you. But within the pandemic, Kamla Prasad Bisesa's job is to do exactly what she is doing by attacking the government within the place that is designated and designed to do so.
Right.
That is as plain as I could put it.
Yes. Everybody have their part to do.
Everybody have their role. That is as plain as I could put it.
Right. Very good. Yes.
All right? So, I come back to leaders. So when a leader leads that leader leads by example.
Right.
A leader doesn't call out the troops, and when the police reach,
They in the back.
them in the back.
Yes.
They'll be up front.
Who don't run away.
You hear what I'm saying to you, brother? I
Yes.
just be real, you know. And I don't fear none of them, and I fear nobody. You know why? Because when I talk with facts.
Yes.
I don't come and talk stories. I just talk with facts. I just talk with evidence. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Yes.
A leader has to lead the people. A leader also have to protect the people.
Yes.
A leader cannot take the troops and send them in the fine line when you in the back. A leader cannot take the troops and expose them to danger while you undercover.
Yes.
A leader have to lead.
And you have to have a great plan.
And a leader have to have a plan to lead. A leader don't lead by what they feel or what they think.
Yes.
You hear what I'm telling you? So I don't have time with foolishness.
Right.
Corky, to change this country, there's one way to do it at this point in time. You notice there's a pandemic. I
Yes.
am not telling people to come out and take the streets and march from south to tongue.
Yes.
I am telling people to shut down their constituency, shut down your community. You live there. All of you live there. You shut that down and you will see how quick and how fast in the public and to sacrifice yourself for them.
So when we say shut down, like if I have a business, I close my business,
Shut down.
close down the business.
You read and spell.
Right.
Shut down. Shut down means shut down. If I have a garage,
Stand still.
we time up. If I have a garage,
Yes.
and in that garage, I have a truck, I have a car, I have a backhoe, I have whatever. I have a store, I have a parlor, and they say shut down the garage.
Right.
What that mean?
Close up shop.
It mean everything shut down.
Yeah, no work doing again.
Shut down.
So I close up my tire shop.
Shut down.
Nobody can get to fix the tire.
Shut down.
Can't get no air in the tire, can't get no gas.
Shut down. Shut down, Corky. You know, it's shut down.
Yes.
Shut down
So then
everything
that's like
in
a
your
f-
community.
That's like a form of sacrifice there.
Shut down. Well, Corky, we done paying up greater sacrifices under this government.
Yes.
You see, people can't have their bread and eat it too, you know. It's either you want to eat your cake, and when you don't eat it, you have none, or you preserve your cake. And this is what we are called to do. Is either we preserve or we allow it to go. Last call for the night. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Mr. Robert.
Yes, sir.
Pleasant good night, good night to you.
Yeah, same to you.
So, like, I listen to your program and everything like that, right? And I live in Trinidad 10 years, right? And from what I see on the UNC side, I see on the PNM side, right? I never vote in my life, and I don't think I ever will, right? But I'm pretty sure I have an opinion, right? Because
Yes.
I'm a citizen of this country, X, Y, and Z, right? From what I am seeing in the whole public, right, the general public, people who are not really for PNM or UNC or whatever the case is, right? But, I mean, they've seen what's really going on in the country right now. And from what I am seeing, they think that the opposition is weak, right? No, I'm just being real. Like, I know, you know, Kamala doing whatever she has to do to, you know, set things in order. And, you know, it does take a process to get these things done, right? But here's what I see it, huh? No, I don't want to start nothing or, you know, be aggressive in what I'm about to say, right? But if Kamala come out and say, here what? That we take back the country, we sick of this mandates and all these kind of crap that going on, all these BS laws and all kind of thing, Al Ferry and Smallton and the next one, the Hobbit man and, you know what I mean? if people come up, if she come on and say, here what, Trinidad and Tobago, you sick of it? All right, let me meet up so and so and so. And let me go show Captain Cassava what he seen. I bet you get a real response, right? So I just want to, put that out there. My 2 cents. Let me put it that way as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Have a blessed night, guys.
All right, our time is up.
All right, caller. So let me just answer while we time is up.
Yeah.
So caller, when she do that under the pandemic and the government arrests her, the police arrests her for inciting and arrests her for the breach of the COVID-19 protocols, what would you guys say? That she's strong? Have a good night.
Yes, all right, that's it. DJ Stefan X is up next, so don't get vexed. All right, that's it for us.
Hello. St. Anne's. Christopher Rowley. Occupation? Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Simple.